Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. Welcome back to my playthrough of Ace Attorney Investigations. Hope that you guys are enjoying this series. If you are, do drop a like. It does help the series out a lot. But look at this, Christmas Day now, December 25th, 10 a.m. Detention Center Visitors Room. Hey, it's Miss Bound. Oh, Mr. Fender. Mr. Edgeworth. I'm so sorry about what happened yesterday. She looks rather tired. Has Mr. von Karma finished interrogating you? Yes, though he really only seemed interested in how I melted those sculptures. Are you here to see Mr. Tangerou too? Yes, I'm terribly worried about him. Oh, Bad? Detective Bad? What are you doing back there? Oh, just happened to be here. I'll be heading back to the scene soon. Not sure how anyone just happens to be at a detention center, but okay. Good morning. Oh man, what? Wow, his hair turned gray. Mr. Tangerou, what happened to you? Oh no. Samson, what did they do to you? They didn't seem to want to let me sleep. I had no idea interrogations could be so involved. Sorry if I seem distracted. I think I'm a little tired. Also no, they cannot do something like that. That's illegal. They cannot, Lily, you can just plead the fifth. They cannot hold you for interrogation like that and not let you sleep. No, that's illegal. They're not letting you sleep? That's not police work, that's torture. What's going on here, Detective Bad? Yeah, and that violates the 8th Amendment also, cruel and unusual punishment. I'm not the one doing the interviewing. It's the guy they put on the case before me. I like von Karma's methods about as much as you do, which is why I'm doing what I can to help. It was Detective Bad who got me out of there. I'd still be in that interrogation room right now if it wasn't for him. Detective Bad really is trying to look out for Mr. Tangerou in his own way, it seems. Alright, Eddie, let's share yesterday's findings with Mr. Tangerou. You got it, Mr. E. My notepad is at the ready. Mr. Tangerou, we found out quite a bit if you'd like to hear it. Of course. I thank you. Are you alright, Mr. Tangerou? You seem kinda spaced out. I'm fine. I think my blood sugar might be running a little low. Samson, do we have anything that might give him a little energy boost? Do we have anything to give him an energy boost? Oh wait, actually, yes, hang on. Present. Tangerou's favorite chocolates. Huh, is that chocolate? For me? Oh, those are the chocolates I wish I could just give them to you, Mr. Tangerou. But the rules here don't exactly allow me to do so. Oh, that's a shame. But rules are rules, I suppose. There must be some way we can hand them to him. Hope Detective Bad is not noting the meaningful look in his direction. Let me take a look at them. If they seem legit, I might consider passing them on to the suspect. Thank you, Detective Bad. My hero! I'm touched. Thank you, Detective. Yeah, whatever. Just sit tight. Here. You don't know how much this means to me. Yeah. Keep it down, will ya? For both our sakes. Of course, Detective. I wouldn't wish to put your livelihood at risk. Now, let's sample those treats. Detective, I apologize for putting you in a tight spot. I didn't do it for you. It was my call. Hey, guess you're not such a bad guy after all. Oh, the sweetness. I feel like a man reborn. Were they your handiwork, Judy? Yes, how are they? Feel them melt, soft and smooth. Chocolate that'll comfort and soothe. Ear to ear, head to toe. Smile and savor the taste as it flows. Delicious. They're not exactly beautiful, but they're sweet and oh so flavorful. Thank you, Judy. I'm so glad you like them. And I'm glad you're back to your old self. My apologies, friends. The food they serve here is just so flavorless. Between that and the lack of sleep, I was about ready to collapse from sheer despair.
Wow, is the food here really all that bad?
Just the usual french fries, ham, sandwich, stuff like that. Yes, and yet I couldn't taste a thing. Anyway, I'm heading back to the scene. Before you go, Detective, do you have any new information to share? Oh yeah, you were right about the victim's identity. Frost worked as a sculptor in France, where he was known as Paul Helique. Hardy Frost was Paul Helique. I never would have imagined. Poor Mr. Helique.
So the famous French sculptor wasn't a Frenchman after all, huh?
Don't do that, that's disgusting. This all would certainly explain why Mr. Helique was such a reckless and refused to show his face in public. He was busy working on his greatest masterpiece, apparently. Bunch of Zodiac statues. Guess he'll never finish them now.
He never finished his greatest masterpiece.
Nah, seems he was making statues for each season. But he never got around to the winter constellations.
The winter constellations? You mean Taurus and Gemini?
So the two he made out of ice would have completed the set.
Yeah, and now they're nothing but puddles. What a bummer.
If he's a famous artist and a famous sculptor, I wonder if somebody was to destroy his work, then the other works would become more valuable. They would actually, if there was little pieces left of him and he's dead. You know, and that is actually true. That a painter and a sculptor's art actually increases in value when they die. That actually is true, because they're not making anymore.
I'm so sorry. Oh no, Miss Bound, I wasn't blaming you.
One last thing. Seems he had himself a bit of a spending habit when it came to his work. Every statue cost him millions to make, which means he was always strapped for cash. We're checking to see if there's any chance someone called in a debt.
I guess not even famous artists are safe from money problems.
Do you have any idea why he entered the confectionery contest? None. Guy didn't even tell his family.
I see.
Alright, I really gotta get going. I'll go fetch another guard, but I can't be hanging around here any longer. Understood, Detective. We'll see you again shortly. He's a good man. He certainly is. And an uncompromising one. Somebody who can be trusted to stand up for what he believes in.
And to scare the pants off anybody new he meets.
Now, you were going to tell me about what you learned yesterday. Of course. Allow me to give you a full report. Thank you for that, and allow me to apologize on Judy's behalf.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine, Mr. Tangerow, and I told her yesterday the important thing is that we learn the truth in the end. Now, would you mind if I ask you a question or two? By all means, I'll gladly share all that I can. The contestants. What can you tell me about the contestants who took part in the final round of the contest? Let's see. There was Miss Scone. I loved her design concept. Unfortunately, her entry was in violation of the rules, and so I had to disqualify her. Mr. Gusto's creations were a perfect balance of flavor and design, at least up through the semi-final. But disappointingly, his entry for the final was subpar on both counts, and there was actually something a little unusual about his entry for the semi-final as well. Which was? It tasted identical to Mr. Frost's. They may have looked different, but I could have sworn I was eating the same thing.
Huh. Oh wow, he said this. Huh, and what exactly did his work look like?
Oh, there should be a photograph back at my mansion.
I'll show it to you later, Mr. Edgeworth. Much appreciated, Miss Bound.
But Mr. Frost's entry for the finals, that was truly sublime.
So you were able to finish judging it, even though his body had been discovered in the meantime?
Yes, I wasn't aware of what had happened until after I completed my assessment. Mr. Frost wasn't in his room when I visited, so I took the liberty of sampling a bit. Part of the liar, I believe. I never tasted anything like it. It was like a dream. I was so moved that I burst into song.
I'm sorry, but are you saying that the liar tasted good? I'd like to hear more about that if you don't mind. The liar. You're quite sure it was the liar you tasted when you sampled Mr. Frost's work?
I'm certain of it. It was part of the Gemini sculpture. It was the only sculpture in that display case.
Mr. Tangra, would you mind taking a look at his photograph for me? So the part you tried was the liar. The one shown here without any strings.
Oh, there were strings originally. That was the part I ate.
So the strings were missing because Mr. Tangra ate them all, and he enjoyed them. Miss Scone told us she ate part of the liar as well, but she said it was far too salty for her to finish.
And it's true. The truth is, I've suspected for a while that there might be something wrong with my sense of taste.
Something wrong? How so exactly?
There's a taste disorder characterized by an inability to detect salty flavors. And I suspect I've been suffering from it. I eat so many sweet foods on a daily basis that it took a while for me to even notice. But there's no denying it now.
I'm surprised he's so fit when he eats so much sweet food all the time. That would explain why the food here seems so bland to him. What? But your taste buds are your livelihood. Even if there were some long-term treatment option, I highly doubt a total cure for your condition exists. Nevertheless, you should put in a request to the police for a proper evaluation.
Oh, that won't be necessary. I have a recipe for a cure back at my mansion.
You do?
I do. You can take a look at it for yourself if you like.
Samson, we can't show that recipe to anybody.
Judy, Mr. Edgeworth is hardly just anybody. He's my attorney, and I have no secrets from him.
Yes, you're right, of course. If that is what you wish. What on earth is the secret recipe for a miracle cure that they've been hiding? Well, I suppose I should be getting back. Alright, we'll be right behind you.
Judy.
Yes, Samson.
There's more to life than just me. Please, Judy, think about the life you want to live. Because I won't always be around.
Don't say that. Without you, I don't have a life to live. So I'll be waiting right here at the mansion until you come home. Now, if you excuse me. Wait, Miss Bound!
Judy.
Whoa, she seemed really upset. I thought I saw tears in her eyes. Why do you even say all that to her?
Because I worry about her. She can't keep putting my needs ahead of her own.
What do you mean?
The Hali collection, the candy making. It's all because she thinks these things will make me happy. She never thinks about what she wants, what she likes. I just want her to be her own person and to choose her own destiny. The last thing I want is for her to miss out on all that life has to offer because of me.
I guess that makes sense. He really does see her as his own child. What parent wouldn't want their child to walk their own path? And what parent wouldn't do everything they could to protect them? I know exactly how he feels in this moment. I think I've asked you everything I can for now, Mr. Tangra. We should be getting back to the scene of the crime.
Oh, you're leaving. I see. I suppose I'll be going back to the interrogation room for another session.
Ah, yes. We'll have to do something about that.
You'll speak to the police for me?
That too, but I'll be putting something else in place as well. An ace up our sleeve for when the time comes.
I look forward to learning more. I'm counting on you, Mr. Edgeworth.
We'll be back to brief you, Mr. Tangra, every day. And Judy too.
Thank you, Eddie. I look forward to it.
Mr. Tangra, your interrogator will do everything in his power to extract a confession from you. I hate to see an innocent man suffer like this. But please, you have to do everything you can to hold out. If you can't, Mr. von Karma will use that confession against you for as long as this case lasts. And it will make it that much harder for me to save you.
I understand. And I'll try.
All you have to do is just plead the fifth, that's it. Just say you're not gonna talk about a lawyer. And the lawyer has a right to be present during the interrogation. So I won't give up until you're out there, Mr. Tangra. You have my word on that. Detective Bad, thank you again for what you did earlier. Yeah, thanks a ton.
What are you talking about?
Haha, there's no need to be shy about it.
Piss. Never mind that now. I'm guessing you two are back here, looking to investigate some more.
We are indeed. We'll need something solid if we're going to save Mr. Tanjiro.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but apart from this room, the whole place is on lockdown.
What? But we need to see those other rooms. This is Mr. von Karma's doing, I presume.
Who else? Haven't seen the autopsy report yet either. The guy's probably got a hand in that too. And don't expect to speak with anybody except us cops and Miss Bound. Everybody else is gone, and I doubt Von Karma will be handing out phone numbers.
Is this all just a game to him? Why does he have to go so far? So what's your plan of action, Detective?
Same as before. Do what I can to help you uncover the truth. Like I promised. You have my gratitude.
And Gregory's a proper gentleman, always taking off his hat. Just you wait, Mr. Von Karma. We're gonna beat you in your bag of dirty tricks. Detective, may we conduct a brief investigation of the area?
Sure. But like I said, everywhere else is off bounds. You probably won't be seeing those rooms again.
That's fine, as long as there's at least some way of continuing our investigation, we'll make do. The statues in the fountain depict cherubs enjoying some chocolate fondue.
All the leaks work, apparently. Gotta hand it to him. They look so real.
Detective, are you saying you have personally seen cherubs before?
Piss. Attorneys. Always poking holes in people's words.
What, did I do something wrong? It seems these instruments are used on Mr. Tanjiro and Miss Bound's TV show Bake and Pop. There's some of the few things in here that aren't made of candy. Is it just me, or does the detective seem a little disappointed? There's a drum set here decorated to look as if it were made out of cakes. They must play it on bacon block. Detective, about these drums.
We already checked. There's nothing inside any of them. And no sign of anything having been put inside or taken out either. They're not relevant to the case.
You've already done your homework, I see.
I may like lollipops a little too much, but I'm no sucker. That's the door to Gusto's room.
I guess the candy reindeer's meant to show the way.
Big antlers like that must be a bull.
I think not. Male reindeers shed their antlers in winter. Therefore, this must be a female.
Thanks, Mr. Trivia. Attorneys.
They don't teach you about reindeer in law school, Detective. This is quite a trophy.
Awarded to Tanjiro, first place, International Confectionaires Association Annual Spectacular.
It's made of candy. I guess it wasn't meant to last forever.
Makes sense. Prize is fame. None of it lasts forever, right?
I doubt it's anything quite that deep. Where does this elevator go?
Second floor. Tanjiro and Bound live up there. Sounds like they live a pretty charmed life. Tea parties, candy making, that kind of thing. They even have a garden. Must be nice on a sunny day.
It does sound nice. Perhaps they'll invite us when all this is over.
You'd come, wouldn't you, Detective? Don't get ahead of yourself now. I'm not in the habit of palling around with attorneys.
These trophies all belong to Mr. Tanjiro. But they're not all for confectionery contests. Some appear to be for charity work. Testament to both his character and his professional achievements. What's this one here? In recognition of Bacon Bob's long-standing achievement in making children's dreams come true. That's so sweet. It's got me wanting to watch it.
Scone's room is through there.
It's marked by a snowman, a candy snowman, by the look of it.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll be.
He's really sizing it up. He isn't thinking of making that into his next lollipop, is he? Authorized personnel only belong, beyond this point, I'm afraid.
Meaning what? I'm not authorized?
Sorry, sir. No authorized personnel either. So nobody's allowed in.
Let me guess. Von Karma's orders. The guy's really starting to grind my gears.
Christmas tree made from candy. These candy statues have everybody on edge. Man's get in here. That's our scene ruined. Yes, it would be pretty disastrous, I suppose. There's a liar here, and some, maracas designed to look like ice cream cones. They're so well made it's hard to tell what's candy and what's not just by looking. I'd reach out to touch them, but then I'd be disturbing the crime scene. Hands off. I already checked them out. They're real. Check them out how exactly? Did you manhandle vital evidence, detective? I didn't touch them. Not with my hands, at least. Did he? Never mind. I don't want to picture it. The sign shows which artist's work is on display in which room. From left to right, Mr. Tangra, Mr. Gusto, Mr. Scone, Mr. Frost. Incidentally, the sign is also made from candy. What were they going to do with all this candy? Somebody's going to eat it when the contest is over? Miss Bound, we're here to continue our investigation. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm so sorry about earlier. She's still looking kind of down in the dumps, Mr. E. She must have been greatly taken aback by what Mr. Tangra had to say. I found the photograph of the semi-final entries for you. Here, it's all yours. Scone, Gusto, and Frost. Wow, Miss Scone sure knows how to make a cute cake. Yes, Samson loved her design for that one. And he loved the designs and flavors of Mr. Gusto and Mr. Frost's entries too. Only problem was, as Samson mentioned earlier, they tasted exactly the same. However, their respective entries for the final tasted nothing alike, it seems. Was there anybody else note that changed between the semi-final and the final? Nothing major, but I guess there was one thing. Mr. Gusto's son was always here with him throughout the contest, but he was nowhere to be seen during the final. Why would his son come and hang out at a contest venue of all places? You're sure you're happy for us to keep a hold of this? Of course. I hope it helps your investigation. Frost and Gusto's creations had different designs, but tasted the same. Oh, and I also have the book containing the recipe for the cure Samson mentioned. We've seen this book before. It was in the chocolate frame, in Tangra's room. That's right, he put it on display there so everybody could see the grand prize. What, the cure is in the ultimate cookbook? So it's not a book of dessert recipes, I take it. Oh no, we told the contestants, of course. But I guess nobody told you yet. So the contestants all knew what the ultimate cookbook was this whole time. A book containing formulas for creating cures for tasting disorders and other chemical and pharmaceutical items. I'd like to hear more about the cookbook if you don't mind, Miss Bound. The ultimate cookbook. So if I understand correctly, the ultimate cookbook is actually a collection of recipes for different medicines. Exactly, or rather, totally new medications that haven't made it to the market yet, to be precise. To the right buyer, a pharmaceutical company, for example, it would be worth a fortune. A pharmaceutical company. Miss Scone is a pharmacist. But why make that the grand prize in a confectionery contest? Mr. Tangra is the sole heir to the Tangra family fortune. Perhaps you've heard of the Tangra group. The Tangra group? Yeah, I think I've heard of them somewhere before. It's a major pharmaceutical corporation. Sells all kinds of pills and poisons. What? But that's how the killer got access to those chemicals. From Tangra's family, but what's the connection here exactly? Is it Miss Bound? Because Miss Bound is his adopted daughter, so she would have access to that. Oh yeah, that new Cold Killer Pro has been making some real waves since it went on sale. I always reach for a cold killer when I'm feeling under the weather. Which is never as far as I've seen. I'd like to hear more about the Tangra group, if you don't mind. The Tangra group. So did Mr. Tangra not want to take over his parents and go into the family business? No, he preferred the idea of making people's lives better through the power of confectionery. And his parents supported him in his quest to become the best in the world. Then when they passed away, he inherited the cookbook. But why would he make such a valuable heirloom a mere contest prize? He's been hounded up by so many people looking to make that book their own. He was tired of it. But it would have been an insult to his parents' memory simply to give it away. So he decided to find somebody he felt was worthy of it. I'll bet the board of directors loved that. Handing over the fruits of all their expensive research to someone else. They hated the idea, of course, which is why Delicia entered the contest. The Tangra group wanted her to win the book back for them. Oh, I see. So you knew she was a pharmacist all along. Yes. And not only that, I told her how to appeal to Samson's taste. I tried to help her win. What? But why? I wanted to protect Samson, by protecting the Tanjiro group. If that cookbook fell into another company's hands, the board would never forgive him. So I wanted to find a way to keep it with the company, but in a way that Samson couldn't object to. So that's how Miss Sko managed to make it so far in a contest she had no business taking part in. But Miss Sko wasn't the only one pretending, was she? Mr. Frost wasn't really a confectioner either. And he still made it all the way to the final, just like she did. Not bad. Yes, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Such a talented sculptor and a gifted crafter of desserts, too. Gifted indeed, judging by the standard of his work in the final. How did one man produce pieces of that size and quality in such a short period of time? I'm not sure I have much more to tell you. But if there's anything else I can help you with, I'd be happy to, of course. She's certainly very keen to ensure that she does all she can for Mr. Tanjiro. I could certainly use a cup of the tea you made us yesterday, if you wouldn't mind. I think that might help move the investigation along nicely. Oh, I'll have some too. Your tea is to die for, Miss Bound. Well, how could I possibly refuse? I'll bring it right out. You know, I think that cheered her up a little. A moment of your time, Eddie. Sure thing, Mr. Reed. What's up? About the incident. Do you have any thoughts on the case? Oh, you bet I do. Mr. Tanjiro's amazing display being used to store the body? Don't do that, it's disgusting. Miss Scone's beautiful dreamscape being used to store the murder weapon? We're really seeing some beautiful things being used for ugly purposes on this case, huh? I suppose we are. And to make things worse, Miss Bound seems super down. When I asked if you had any thoughts on the case, I was thinking more about useful insights. Oh, sorry, Mr. E. Did I do something wrong? I worry about you sometimes, Eddie. Eddie Fender. How are you liking your first crime scene investigation, Eddie? Oh, it's great. I've been taking notes about everything. And I'm learning so much. I'm so happy you let me, tag along, Mr. Edgeworth. So you want to be an attorney, huh? You bet I do. I'd give anything to be a hero of justice, to help the helpless, and fight for what's right. First time I saw Mr. Reed do his things in court, I knew I'd found my calling. You know, cops look out for people, too. Sure, but I want to be an attorney. Well, good luck to you. I get the feeling Detective Bad might be pitting for an apprentice of his own. Excuse me, may I ask what you're investigating? Sir, I'm analyzing the fountain water to see what might be in it, sir. And what did you find? Chocolate, and what looks like kind of flavorings and colorings used in frozen desserts, sir. The composition of the chocolate seems to be the same as that of Mr. Tanjiro's work. And the flavorings and colorings match the profile of those used in Mr. Frost's ice sculptures. Those little rivers flow from all four artists' rooms right here to this fountain. Guess that's how the stuff from the melted sculptures wound up in there. That's not all, sir. We also found blood. What? Why is there blood in the water? Think back to our investigation of the murder scene, Detective. Take another look at the scene in front of us, Detective. A very conspicuous pool of blood that should be here is clearly missing. Did the killer dump it in the fountain? You're right. Don't remember anybody mentioning they removed the blood along with the body. The victim's blood was mysteriously absent, as was the part of the chocolate chest it had pooled on. I believe that the blood probably belonged to Artie Frost. The victim, huh? I'll have the guy compare it with the blood on the murder weapon. It's a match. The blood in the fountain is Frost's. But why would someone want to send the victim's blood downstream and into the fountain like this? Frost's blood was found in the fountain, but not at the scene of the crime. Why? Why was the... We've learned a little more about the contest participants. But there's still one question involving Mr. Gusto for which we never got an answer. Nothing at all, Mr. Gusto. You were into Mr. Frost's room, didn't you? Perhaps you could tell us why.
Sure, I was.
Objection!
Silence! You were not to give the attorney even the tiniest shred of information.
What was he doing in Mr. Frost's room? And that's not all. I also have questions about the work he submitted for the semifinals. Confectioner who missed a lacking design sense, and a sculptor with it in space. Mr. Gusto could not have hoped to win such a high-level contest by himself, which is why I'm beginning to wonder if there was some sort of connection between him and Mr. Frost. Detective, I need to ask Mr. Gusto a few more questions. His story still doesn't quite add up for me. Me neither. We need to figure out how to get in touch with him. Oh, do you know? Oh, great.
Good luck with that, because I have no intention of allowing it.
Mr. von Karma.
I'm already in the midst of my own investigation into Gusto, so there is no need for the likes of you to pester him with the same questions again. Just. I will, however, be happy to answer any questions you might have.
He seems dead set on preventing me from talking to Mr. Gusto. In which case, fine, then allow me to take you up on your offer.
Very well. What is it?
I'd like you to tell me about the connection between Mr. Gusto and Mr. Frost. Gusto and Frost connection.
The connection between Gusto and Frost? It was simply a matter of coincidence. They both happened to be taking part in the same contest.
That's all? That's it? That's the shortest testimony I've ever seen.
That's all I have to say to you.
What? But that doesn't help us at all. We'll have to confront him with evidence if we want to draw the truth out of him. And if it's imperative that we do, he's clearly hiding something.
The connection between Gusto and Frost?
Yes, there must have been a connection of some kind.
And if you would cease your baseless interruptions, I'll be happy to tell you what it is. If this was a courtroom, I would have had you removed for contempt.
But isn't that solely to the judge's purview? Yeah, a Judge von Karma would probably have dancing to his tune. What? Even judges are scared of him? It won't be an easy trial, that's for sure. Please, Mr. von Karma, continue.
It was simply a matter of coincidence. They both happened to be taking part in the same contest.
Hold it! Granted, it may have simply been a coincidence that they both entered the same competition, but that doesn't rule out a connection of some other kind between the two of them.
Objection!
I do hate to repeat myself, but if you do not have any pertinent evidence, then kindly keep your mouth shut.
Guess I'll just have to do as he says for now. At least until I find the evidence that proves Mr. Gusto and Mr. Frost's connection.
Still, the look in your eyes speaks volumes. Well, go on then. What are you trying to say?
Make up your mind, Willie. Should I keep my mouth shut or not? It seems Mr. von Karma is keen to keeping us away from the truth. Which means the truth must be inconvenient to him somehow, right? Mr. Gusto and Mr. Frost had something in common. I just need to present the thing that they shared to Mr. von Karma. Carmelo Gusto. What do they have in common? Frost and Gusto's creations have different designs, but tasted the same. They tasted exactly the same. This is it.
Objection!
I wonder if you could look at the two confections in the foreground for me, Mr. von Karma. They are made for the contest semifinal. Both are quite exquisitely crafted, wouldn't you agree?
Get to the point.
As the nameplate suggests, these were Mr. Gusto and Mr. Frost's entries. Mr. Gusto told us the confectionery design was far from his strong suit. And yet his work in the picture is just as good as Mr. Frost's. Exactly as good, in fact. We learned from another witness that their two, entries also tasted exactly the same.
Objection!
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that they were helping one another out. Let's take a closer look, shall we? While at first glance the two may appear to be, significantly different. Yeah, they look very similar. Yeah, very similar. it soon becomes apparent there are significant similarities in how they were put together. They are made of the same ingredients, taste the same, and share a similar design aesthetic. This picture is proof positive that the two were working together.
If you figured that much out, I suppose there's little point in denying it.
Mr. von Karma knew all along they were cooperating.
But I'll warn you, none of what you're about to hear will be to your advantage.
Gusto and Frost's real connection, what is it?
Let me confirm what you seem so desperate to prove. Gusto and Frost were indeed working together. Gusto spilled out the details of his relationship to Frost during his questioning last night. It seems they were helping one another right up until the day before the final.
So, you knew that the two were cooperating. Mr. von Karma, why don't you try to bury the truth?
Please, enough with the petty slander. I merely wanted to avoid you poking your nose around before I could provide proper context in court. It simply slipped my mind to explain that to you.
Oh, no, it didn't. It doesn't explain why he's being so slippery with the facts, though. I need to figure out what it is he's hiding. I can't let things end like this. Gusto and Frost's real connection.
Let me confirm with you what you seem so desperate to prove. Gusto and Frost were indeed working together.
Hold it! So, you did know there was a connection between the two. Why are you trying to hide it?
Tisk. I don't just hand out information like candy, and certainly not to the defense. Not like that lollipop nursing fool of a detective over there.
Oh, you do things your way, and I'll do them mine. Bad's really pissed.
And you wonder why I refuse to share information with a traitor like you. Gusto spilled out the details of his relationship to Frost during his questioning last night.
Hold it! Last night, after Mr. Frost's work melted, correct?
Yes, I interviewed Gusto personally.
Jeez, a one-on-one of Mr. von Karma, that must have been terrifying. I imagine Mr. Gusto probably meditated his way through the difficult parts.
He most certainly did not, every time he closed his eyes. I brought him back with an almighty snap. No one dares to plead the fifth with me.
They can. I mentioned the fifth earlier. You can plead the fifth. What von Karma's doing is illegal. If he actually got Gusto to give him some kind of statement, and Gusto still pleaded the fifth, that would be completely thrown out of court. Gregory could basically say right now, you just violated his constitutional rights. That's what Gregory, but that's the ridiculousness of Ace Attorney, I guess. Did that even work on him?
And that is how I was able to perfectly learn every last detail of Gusto and Frost's relationship.
The Fifth Amendment to what von Karma is talking about is the Fifth Amendment to the United States Constitution. It gives you the right to remain silent. That's when people say, I plead the fifth. They can't be questioned anymore. It seems they
were helping one another right up until the day before the final.
Hold it! But why were they cooperating?
Gusto's sense of design is subpar, and Frost was an amateur confectioner at best. Neither one of them stood a chance of making it through the contest alone.
So what was their endgame? Why cooperate only until the day before the finals?
Gusto claims to have ended the scheme. Allegedly, he wanted to win the final on his own merits. His one and only goal really was to be crowned the world's best confectioner. And his pride would not allow him to do so with the help of another.
Cheaters can only ever win hollow victories, I guess. I was under the impression that their collaboration had only lasted through the semifinals. Well, I'm starting to think it might have lasted up through the final itself. Mr. von Karma, I'd like you to ask some more about how long they worked together for, if you don't mind.
If you must. Gusto's sense of design is subpar, and Frost was an amateur confectioner at best.
Hold it! Before you ask, I'm not objecting to your characterization of Mr. Gusto's design sense. Yeah, he'd admitted himself he isn't all that great.
He made what he alleged to be a likeness of me. Just thinking of the abomination he came out with hurts my stomach.
Yeah, I kind of like the guy's work.
An artistically rich amateur, an artistically impoverished professional.
What? No, you cannot say that. No, I'm a professional here.
In a way, it was inevitable that they would wind up working together. The two cooperated until the day before the final, then decided to compete on their own merits.
Hold it! you really believe that they were cooperating until the day before the finals, and they just simply stopped? That seems a little strange to me, wouldn't you agree?
I have told you the truth. Whether you find it strange or not is none of my concern.
He was concerned enough to try to hide it from me only a few minutes ago, though. Which means there must have been a reason for that. Based on Mr. Tangero's assessment, it sounded Mr. Frost's entry for the final was the clear winner. Which means he must have still been working with Mr. Gusto, right? That's precisely what I was thinking. I must have some evidence that proved that they were cooperating right up through the finals. Proof that they were working together. Proof that they were both working together.
Objection!
Oh, it was Miss Scone's statements about the salty liar. They weren't working together during the finals. I find that a little hard to believe. Miss Scone is on record for having described Mr. Frost's creations as scrumptious. And while he was certainly skilled, I doubt even he could have become a world-class confectioner overnight. It seems far more likely to me that he and Mr. Gusto were still cooperating during the finals.
How many times must I explain this to you? Assertions require proof, and one person's entirely subjective statement is not proof of anything. Besides, even amateurs can occasionally make delicious food. Perhaps Frost was simply lucky. My wife, for example, is an amateur whose cooking puts first-class chefs to shame.
How is that not an entirely subjective statement?
Furthermore, you are ignoring another crucial part of the pharmacist's testimony. Namely, that she also described some of Frost's work as having been unbearably salty. In other words, your evidence actually shows that Frost failed to produce the perfect confectionery. Tish. No more objections, I take it.
There must be some way I can prove that Gusto and Frost were still collaborating. Mr. E, there's something that's been on my mind. Yes? What is it, Eddie? Mr. Frost's entry for the finals, wouldn't it have taken a while to make? I would imagine so. Making flavored water freezing it all, and then carving 2 whole sculptures. Could he really have done all that and helped Mr. Gusto with his work? If it was me, I'd have barely gotten as far as setting the flavored water up to the freeze part. I just can't see how Mr. Frost could have pulled it off. Perhaps there's some lawyerly instinct in you after all, Eddie. Your pondering certainly points to another possibility. Eddie's right. Mr. Frost would have needed to freeze his own large blocks of flavored ice to create his art. And there wouldn't have been time to do that during the contest itself. So what must Mr. Frost have done in order to finish his flavored ice entry within the time limit? Make the ice the day before the final? He must have made the flavored ice the day before. Then all he would have had to do was to sculpt it.
What are you muttering about now?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just realized something, that's all. I realized that you're correct. What? Mr. E? I hope you know what you're doing.
Oh, accepting defeat at last, are we?
The only thing I'm accepting is that perhaps one of the things you said was true. They were helping one another right up until the day before the final. Just as you said, the day before the final really did mark the end of their collaboration. Mr. Frost's entry was carved entirely from blocks of flavored ice. Ice which would have needed at least a day to freeze, and whose flavors there would have already been prepared by Mr. Gusto.
Yes, which lines up perfectly with what Gusto told me, that he helped Frost until the day before the final.
In that case, why did Mr. Frost reciprocate and help Mr. Gusto in return?
I can hardly be expected to read the minds of the dead.
Perhaps not, but imagine Mr. Gusto could tell us, so why don't you let us speak with him? Or do you still insist your interrogation was as thorough as you claim?
How dare you call my efforts into question?
That's not my intention. I just don't understand why you would obstruct a perfectly valid line of inquiry. Give me one good reason as to why you're keeping Mr. Gusto from me.
One good reason? Certainly. The how and why of Mr. Frost and Gusto's collaboration have absolutely no bearing on this case.
How can you possibly say that with any certainty? If their relationship had broken down for some reason, that could very well have been the motive behind this murder.
Could it indeed? Then why did Gusto himself tell me all about it? Why did the man you seem so keen on accusing share the details of his collaboration with the prosecution? Please tell me you have some proof to back up your preposterous suspicions this time.
Mr. Gusto only acted suspiciously one time that we know of, and I imagine Mr. von Karma is aware of exactly what that suspicious action was. Which means, this is probably a trap.
Well, can I cut your tongue?
But even if this is a trap, I can't back down now. Mr. Gusto snuck into Mr. Frost's room, and we still don't know why. That fact alone is reason enough to suspect him.
Tish. If that's your only concern, then allow me to clear it up for you.
I knew it. It was a trap.
I was saving this for the trial, but consider it a taste of things to come. Plus, I hate for that proceeding to drag on because of your needless interjections. Here, take a look at this.
Gusto and Frost and their sons. A photo of Frost, Gusto, and their sons. Gusto's son visited his father daily up through the semifinal.
Gusto snuck into Frost's room in order to retrieve his photograph.
But why?
It seems their sons attended the same elementary school. Gusto was concerned that the fact that Mr. Frost and his acquaintance might place him under suspicion. A concern that you have just proved was entirely well-founded. Gusto's actions make perfect sense, and you have given me no reason to believe otherwise. Ugh.
He's never going to let me talk to Mr. Gusto.
Now, you are quite done obstructing my investigation. I have things to be getting on with.
That smug, self-righteous jerk. I'll give him something to be, getting on with. What do we do, Mr. E? Mr. Tangero's finished if we can't figure something out. Things to be getting on with. What exactly could those things be? He has a body, a murder weapon, and a suspect in custody. If the prosecution needs to pursue Mr. Tangeros, surely they have all they need. So why is Mr. von Karma still investigating the scene of the crime? Oh, something on your mind, Mr. E. We're missing something. Something important. Mr. von Karma has everything he needs to proceed to a prosecution of Mr. Tangero. And yet he still doesn't seem entirely confident of his case. If he was, why refuse to share information with Detective Bat? Who else? Haven't seen the autopsy report yet either. Guy's probably got a hand in that too. 24 hours post-murder, and there's still no autopsy report. In addition, we still haven't solved the mystery of what happened to the evidence that went missing. Take another look at the crime scene in front of us, Detective. A very conspicuous pool of blood that should be here is clearly missed. None of the victim's blood was found in Tangero's room. You're right. Don't remember anybody mentioning they'd removed the blood along with the body. Evidence that turned up not in Mr. Tangero's room, but in a most unusual place. It's a match. The blood in the fountain is Frost's. Frost's blood was detected in the water of the fountain. So there was no trace of Mr. Frost's blood left in Mr. Tangero's room. Yet we found some in the fountain instead. Why? I think I figured it out. Because Gregory Edgeworth, Edgeworth's dad, he accused Von Karma of making false evidence, and he was able to prove that in court, and that destroyed Von Karma's reputation. He's making fake evidence. Blood in the fountain. Frost's blood was detected in the water fountain. Missing victim's blood. None of the victim's blood was found in Tangero's room. Mr. Frost's blood went missing from the crime scene. But traces of it showed up in the fountain. Why go to the trouble of removing the blood from the scene after the body's been discovered? And why only the blood? Surely the body would have been in the way. Wait, could someone have moved the body aside to get to the blood? Did someone move the body aside in order to get to the blood that was in the chest? No autopsy report. 24 hours post-murder and there's still no autopsy report. Body moved aside. Did somebody move the body aside in order to get to the blood that was in the chest? So the body might have been moved aside, or even removed from the scene of the crime entirely. After all, as far as we know, there's still no autopsy report. We've learned plenty about the murder weapon and the suspect, very little about the body itself. Our assumptions thus far have been that the body has been recovered by the forensics team. But what if that assumption is false? What if Mr. Von Karma wouldn't show Detective Bat the autopsy report out of something other than spite? What if we've been thinking about this the wrong way around all along? The question isn't why did Mr. Von Karma hold back information about the body? It's, did Mr. Von Karma even have any information about the body in the first place? How did things look from that angle? Perhaps the body hadn't been removed by the police in order to carry out an autopsy. Perhaps it has already been removed and hidden away by the culprit before their arrival. Oh, Mr. E! We've both heard the rumors about Mr. Von Karma's questionable methods. Fabricated witness statements, shady deals, forged evidence, and even... Sure, everybody's heard of that stuff, but what's that got to do with us right now? I would never judge a person on the basis of rumors alone. Even Mr. Von Karma, I've tried my best not to let my preconceptions color out our interactions with him. Nonetheless, it appears he may indeed be willing to twist the truth to his own ends. To twist the truth? You mean he's playing dirty? I fear he might have been, and still is. and I'm not about to let him get away with it.
I'm returning to the prosecutor's office. Don't breathe a word about anything to the that infernal attorney. Yes, sir.
Hold it!
Yes? What is it now?
I have a few questions, Mr. Von Karma, about a certain fact you've been keeping from us.
Really? You mean to call them of an officially sanctioned investigation to question it again? I'm warning you, if you obstruct the police in their work any further, there will be consequences.
Objection!
It's not the police I have an issue with, Mr. Von Karma. It's you!
What?
Isn't it on the prosecution to work out who the real culprit of a crime is?
What foolishness is this? I have no intention of debating what the prosecution's role is, or is not with the likes of you. Or let me make one thing clear. My job is to identify suspects, and ensure that every last one of them is convicted at all costs. Believe me when I say, I leave absolutely no room for doubt when I present my perfect, unassailable cases.
And how far would you go for your perfect cases? Would you create facts out of the whole cloth, perhaps?
Ha! And I thought you had outdone yourself already. But now you intend to accuse me of fabricating evidence?
I do. Because it is why you've done nothing but hinder Detective Bad from doing his job at every turn. What are you talking about? You didn't shut him out of the investigation because you wanted him to keep an eye on us. You did to stop him from finding out that you don't have the body. What? He doesn't have the body.
Ridiculous! You're clutching at straws. I will tolerate no more of your preposterous slander.
Then allow us to examine it. Prove me wrong, if you can.
Yes. I'm afraid you'll have to try a little harder than that. I'm under no obligation whatsoever to prove your baseless accusations one way or another.
As you must have seen for yourself, a piece of bloody chocolate is missing from the scene of the crime. Why did it disappear? And where did it go?
What does it matter? Some blood went missing from the chest where the body was found. So what?
So what indeed? That's precisely my question. If the body was still at the scene when the police got here, removing the blood would accomplish nothing. However, let us suppose for a moment that the body was not. If somebody had wanted to erase any trace of what had happened in that room, then it all makes perfect sense.
What is this petty obsession with the bloodstain? But since it's so important to you, why don't you tell me where you believe it went?
Of course. After all, evidence is everything, as you never tire of telling us. I believe this should back up my theory quite nicely. What evidence do I have that shows where the blood from Mr. Tangro's room went? Frost blood was found in the fountain, but not at the scene of the crime.
Take that!
Traces of the victim's blood were found in the fountain, along with traces of the chocolate from Mr. Tangro's room. I believe that missing piece of blood-stained chocolate was dumped in a stream that flows to the fountain, which strongly points towards one certain fact. Someone purposely disposed of the blood after the body had been removed from the chest. Mr. Von Karma, where did you find the body? You didn't find it, did you? Answer me.
You! Where did you get your hands on that kind of evidence? You have neither the authority nor the means to carry out that kind of analysis on the fountain water.
No, but I do.
Curse you, Bad! You've been afforded my side from the moment you were assigned. Well, no longer. As of now, you're officially off the case.
I was barely on it in the first place. Mr. Von Karma, you still haven't answered my question. Will you admit it? Will you confirm that no body was ever recovered?
This. It's really quite the claim, you know. One that you'll never find any proof for, I'm afraid.
What must I do to get an answer out of him?
Now, if you don't mind, I've given you quite enough of my precious time already. I look forward to destroying you in court, Gregory Edgeworth. Your precious logic and theories won't save you dead. Nothing will.
Mark my words, Mr. Von Karma, your methods will be your undoing. No matter how you try to hide the truth, I'll bring it all to the light in the end. Forgive me, Detective. I didn't mean to put you in a difficult position. Don't sweat it. It was always gonna end this way. Honestly, nobody's ever sidelined me the way he did before. First time for everything, huh? You know, I think you might be right about the body being missing. I am, and I'll prove it in court. Well, if there's anything I can do to help, just say the word. Since you know, I'm off the case now. That's very kind, and I'm sorry to keep asking favors from you, Detective Bad, but there's one more thing. Hey, what are you guys whispering about? Come on, let me in on the secret. Alrighty, Eddie, the detective and I were just arranging a little insurance for the trial. I think we have enough to see Mr. Tanjiro acquitted. But I prefer to have an ace in the hole, just in case. And what is that? You'll find out in the courtroom. Wait, what? You're letting me join you? Of course I am. You are my assistant after all. I'll be more than that by next year. I'll be a full-fledged attorney, you know. We can take on Mr. von Karma together. Indeed. Though I'm hoping we'll have freed Mr. Tanjiro by then. But if we're up against Mr. von Karma, I guess we can't rule out the possibility this might take some time. Right, but we'll do everything we can in the meantime. I know you can beat Mr. von Karma, Mr. E. I believe in you. We can't allow Mr. Tanjiro to remain in prison for a crime he didn't commit. And we won't. I'll expose Mr. von Karma's lies if it's the last thing I do. Oh, I guess it ends here. Okay then, guys, thank you guys for watching. Yep, so this is you guys were telling me in the comments, this is the infamous case. This is the infamous case where Gregory Edgeworth fought von Karma from the original game. In the original game, we heard about this case, but we didn't have much information about it. But thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, do drop a like, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.